everyone, today we'll be making an RPG. This will be one of many parts to make a full-fledged game. So we're going to boot up Godot and create a new project. Let's call it RPG. And then create a new folder and then create an edit. So now we have this. And if you're a complete beginner to Godot, I don't recommend going the 3D route. So the middle mouse is to scroll in and out. Clicking the button on the middle mouse is to move around, and then the left button is to select, and the right button is to alter. So we're gonna hit the plus sign and click and type kinematic body. So then we can go down to that and click enter. Then let's add a sprite and then a collision. Make sure you don't do a rigid body because it's a top-down game and a rigid body won't work. So for our sprite, we're going to be importing this asset that I got on itch.io. Link will be in the description. So then we go to our sprite. Actually, let's change this. So then right click on it and then click change type to animated sprite. And then these are errors, and they will show, and then I can get to them right now. So the first error it's saying that we have to create the animation. So then we can go to this arrow key and then click new sprite frames and then click on it. So then over here to this. You can import the first sprite, but you notice, oh, it's so blurry. Well, the way to fix that is select all of them by selecting the first one, holding down shift, and then selecting the bottom one. So then it selects all the ones in the middle. We click 2D pixel and then re-import. Looks nice. So the asset pack that I got online says that there's no walk state. It's always idle. So idle, and that's going to be our only state. So then I can just import the other ones. Then we can hit playing. And then they may say, oh, it looks pretty bad. You can alter the frames. That's why it looks pretty bad. So see how that's a bit better? So now let's go to the collision shape. How about let's stop first frame? So then we're able to get an accurate collision shape. Later this episode, we're going to be making a tile set, and it's going to have a brick wall. So it's going to be, if we want it to look realistic, we'll have to have this collision shape be like this low. So make sure you have it this low. It doesn't have to be that exact, but make sure you make it like pretty low in comparison to like other ones that maybe you've made. So now we should create a script for this. So then create. I had a script already written and I just copied and pasted it, but I'll give you a few seconds to pause the video and type it down. Okay, you back? Now you see this little star? You want to save it by clicking Control S. And then, but wait, don't save it yet. Click out because I forgot to name it. So double click the kinematic body, type in player. Then click Control S and then save. So now let's get on to the world. We're going to have a 2D scene with a kinematic body. Not a kinematic body, tile. A tile map, not a kinematic body. So then, let's do the same thing that we did with the animated sprite. Click that arrow, click the new tile set, and then click on it. So then you get the dungeon tile set. But again, it's blurry, so then you do the same thing we did with the character. Click present, 2D pixel, and then re-import. So now we can drag this down and then zoom in on it. You may say, if it's a tile set, it has to have defined squares, so then you're able to draw. The way you do that, click new single tile, and then you need to have it so then it has all these squares. But it's not up to scale with the actual asset. The asset is 16 by 16 and it's currently set to 32 by 32. Oops. So, yes. So now we can select it. And a bit mask is very powerful because then you're able to like make a box as large as you want. But we're not going to be using a bit mask for a few reasons, which I'll get to later. So then I'm going to give it collision. I'm going to select this, click new single tile, select this one, give it collision, the new single tile, and then it should, let's do this one. And then no, don't add any collision to it. Then one more, click this one, and then this one should have collision because it is a wall. So then let's name this world, and then save it. Control S. Now that we have it, you may say, why is it a tiny square instead of a larger square? It's because the cell size is at 64, so we need to change that to 16 by 16 like we did for the other part. So now that we have this, we can start drawing out a room. I'm just going to make a simple room. So I'm going to show collisions. So I'm just going to make a simple room for this example. Yeah, so then we can add those. Make sure you only use these bricks for whenever it's connected to these solid bricks, not whenever using these. So A is to rotate each sprite. Oh, I forgot one more sprite that we need, so then we go into here, and then we also need that corner sprite. So in collision, and then the bottom also should have one of these. Now, one more for this corner. Okay, now we have the makings for it. So notice how I made this box. We need to add the floor to it. So then you can either draw it in each individual square, or you can be a cool kid and use the paint bucket. And then you can just switch it back, and then there. So now let's import our player. Clicking that chain because it's like linking the player to this world. Also, before you run it, make sure in front of each of these put UI. So that was my fault, my bad, for telling you not to do that earlier. So put UI underscore and then each part. UI, right, left, down, and up. And whenever you test, just keep in mind that these are the arrow keys. We can alter them later. I'll show you in the next episode how to alter them. And then the speed should also be set to 80. So now let's run. So you may say, oh, yeah, I can see it, but just barely. So then you go the way you want it. If you want to see it better, you can click the world, and then add a new child, and do camera. Make sure it's a 2D camera, not a 3D, because this is a 2D environment. And then it's very large, so then you have to center it in the middle of that, and then you zoom it on one axis. I recommend doing the y-axis first, because then you can get a better look. And then if you want to make it smaller, let's just make it a bit smaller. Camera. Control S. Make sure you set it to current. Okay, now you can see it better. You may say, our character looks a bit boring. It has no animations or sprite flipping. So the way we can do that is make this play. So then it's playing. And then go to the script. If you want sprite flip, then then you do $, sprite, and whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be sprite. It's whatever you named this child under the player. So I named it sprite. So then you put sprite dot flip underscore h is equal. So notice how whenever it's saying right, the character is already facing right. So you don't have to flip it. So it can be false, but then you can copy and paste it. Control C, and then go down to left, then Control V. And then this one you want to set to true since it's not facing left already. So then click Control S, and then we can go back to our world, and then just see. So see, like I said earlier in the video, the player doesn't have a walk state; it's always on idle. So this is pretty easy to do instead of like making the sprite play a specific animation. So now that we have that, we need to add a door, obviously. So then we can do a 2D scene with 2 sprites. So, left door. Okay. Right. So then for each of these, you want to put the dungeon tile set. I know it's a tile set, but just bear with me. So then you go to animation, and then 10 by 10. For left, and then for right, also go to animation, and then 10 by 10. So move this one. And then these aren't doors. So then you need to scroll through the frames until you get to the door. So, we're almost there. Okay. So now this frame is left door is 66, and then right for door is 67. So now that we have 2 doors, oh wait, sorry. It needs to be the other way. Wait, is it? No. Sorry, I controlled it. Okay. So now that we have that, we click on the No 2D and then add a child area 2D, and then give that a collision shape, and then make the collision shape like this, like in front of the door, right? Like, make it pretty large like that. Then make sure this has an animation player. So then we can make one. So closed. Make one animation, closed. Make another. Now that we have both those animations we go to closed and then we keyframe each of those doors. frame. So then you click that little key icon right next to the frame section. So then allow Bezier, go to the right. Well, no, don't allow Bezier, create reset tracks. So now don't let it loop. So now that we have that, we go to open door. Now we have to navigate to the open frame, not that one. There. Okay, so then this one is 47, keyframe. And this one should be 48. Now we can run it. There. Then we can make it so then whenever they enter that area shape, it opens and closes. So let's create a script. Should have made it empty, but it's fine. We can just delete it. Then go to the area 2D and then connect two signals. Body entered, because our character is a kinematic body, and then body exited. Now let's go to body entered and then click tab to indent it if you accidentally deleted it. So then animation player dot play, we can do, for entered, it's open, and then exited is, okay, let's test it. Oh wait, we forgot one thing. We have to make closed always run. So then we go back to our tile map, and then if you want, the way you erase is you right click on the block that you want to erase. So I'm erasing these two, saving, putting this under, and then doing the same thing that we did with the player, linking it to the world. So then we can do, oh, we forgot to save it. So then, delete. Then we can place it. I recommend just making it a bit above so then it looks like it's like hanging, I don't know. So see? So this should be rendered. So then we should make the area stretch out to there. The reason why is because then we can go to our world and then make our player above it. So then the players are rendered behind those two poles. Okay, thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a comment down below, subscribe, and like. See you next time. Bye.